I'm gonna be honest, coming into the Fractal suite at Computex 2024 here was a little bit of a different experience for me. I've never had a brand come up and just right off the bat say, we understand everyone hated this the last time we did it, but I promise, we fixed it. That's new for me, but to be honest, I didn't really follow the original Fractal era when it came out, but if you aren't familiar, the problem was airflow. They had kind of a solid bottom panel with just a little bit of ventilation on the side and a solid top panel. Look at this, wood, not solid. I mean, it's solid walnut, but not in the way that you're thinking. There's machined lines in it for airflow. Very good. Last time, it overheated. If you had any sort of high-end gaming computer, and they were straight up about that. But this is supposed to fix that problem. And it looks nice too. That's kind of the theme here if you haven't noticed. We basically took apart their entire set and built our own little ShortCircuit set here. But to unbox a case that has no box, I mean, it's kind of a box itself, I'm gonna need another computer. Luckily they have this one right here, and I figured if we're already taking apart their entire set, why not take apart their computers too? This is the Era 2, and it comes in 3 different colors. I've got silver here, this one is charcoal gray, I got it right, and this one, midnight blue. Honestly, I'm kind of a blue guy. This is pretty nice. Now apparently there's gonna be a bunch of cool engineering nerd stuff that I'm gonna realize as I go through this, so hopefully I pick up on it, otherwise maybe I'm stupid. In terms of specs, we'll kind of get into those as we go through it. Let's see if I can figure out how to take it apart. Hold on, I don't think I'm getting the right side here, but I do see a lock thing here. Oh. It's just a mesh filter on the bottom, it's a nice touch. Not what I was looking for. Whoa, never mind. It was what I was looking for. Damn, look at that, so easy. So this is the fancy anodized aluminum shell. On the back, just a big open space, which is where this stuff will go. On the top, here's that walnut panel we were looking at earlier. Each one is unique. It's actually wood that they source from North America. I tried to ask them if they get it from Canada, given that it's wood, and we export a lot of that, but I have not heard back yet. Have we heard back yet? US. Damn it, you know what, close enough. We're like the America Mini or whatever. Let's move on to the actual case itself. I'm gonna unbuild this one and put it into this computer because I feel like it's weird to do a case unboxing experience without actually building a computer. So let's start that now that I know how to take the thing apart. Wow, that's a lot of stuff in there. Maybe this is more than I bargained for. The back panel here is adjustable. It has a adjustable spine at the back. And yes, this is the screwdriver I'm going to be using the entire time. Deal with it. I forgot my LTT screwdriver, lttstore.com. And if you haven't gotten there yet, the reasoning for this is the size of the graphics card. Say you have no graphics card or just a really small one, you can put it in position 1 here with the graphics card space shrunken down, and that gives you 70 mils of CPU clearance. And then if you have a big graphics card, you go to position 3, and then you have 55 millimeters. That might matter to you if you have an air cooler, but if you have an AIO, you're probably good in either. Yeah, PCIe riser right there, that's nice. Maybe let's put the graphics card in. I might just, instead of tearing apart this entire computer, I might just move a couple choice components just to get the vibe. Pass-through power cable, that makes sense. The power supply is not sitting right here. Fits SFX and SFXL power supplies, like this one here. Let's try and take it out. Are these all on trays? Is this just gonna slide right out? Wow, look at that! It's just on a slidey tray. What? So you just screw the power supply into this little tray, and then, mash the cables in there. Don't forget about the cables, but let's pretend like I've remembered and put it back in. Easy. And that's it. Oh, the screw. There's still a screw, but that's pretty much it. That's very good. What about an AIO? What? What? What have I been doing with this power supply? You just watched me do that. It just pops off. I told them to not tell me things because I just wanted to experience it. That feels like something you could have mentioned. I don't know. Here, let's try this one more time with the top off. Yep, it's not that hard. Look at that, goes right in there. It still feels very sturdy. Good job for that. I've had, because I guess it's braced in the middle. I've definitely played with cases like this where the top comes off and it just feels like it dissolves into nothing and the thing is gonna fall apart, but because that spine is mounted down the middle and can be movable, it holds it all together. This is a new feature to the Era 2. The original one didn't have the fancy removable toolless top like that, but this is a very well thought out case in my few minutes experience here. You can see on the bottom here, much more ventilation than the last one, which just had the side ventilation, and there's two 120 millimeter fans, unlike the original, which just had a single 80 mil. Up front, we've got a power button. It's fine. It's not my favorite, but it makes sense with the style. 3.5 mil combo audio jack, a 20 gig USB Type-C, assuming you have a motherboard that supports it, and what looks like two 5 gig Type A ports around back, like I showed you before. Motherboard cutout, we've got the power pass-through, the little screw holes for adjusting the spine, and then two PCIe slots. It can fit up to a 3-slot card, assuming that this is in the maximum GPU configuration, which is limiting your CPU cooler space. I didn't look at this too closely earlier, but the little thing with the accessories in it holds two 2.5-inch drives. Assuming you have the space and don't have a stupid long graphics card, what comes in here? Screws and cable ties. Other than that, it's just a very nice, clean, good-looking, very easy to build in, seemingly, case. We'll try a little thermal test on it a little bit later, but before that, I want to look at the other new case, the Mood. It's a very small form factor tower style case. It's a little tricky given the orientation to like get your fingers under there and pull. Like I need to pull this way, but not this way. And that's kind of hard, but I guess if you just tilt your computer a little bit. So now, hey, the fabric lined top comes off, and it's just like the other one where you have like 360-degree access. The fabric is nice, I like it. It's, you're gonna probably need to vacuum it at some point, but it will also act as a filter for your room. I don't think that they're rating it for that, and definitely will not say that it gives you any sort of filtration, but I imagine if you have a cat or a dog, it'll take some cat hair out of your room, which is something you all know I have problems with. Top, mesh, good for airflow. The front is mesh, the back is open, sort of this filter is there. The top is open, but the sides are not. I was kind of like, huh? But I guess it makes sense. They're channeling the airflow. And I did just determine that you can't actually put this on incorrectly. It stops you. And there is some helpful labeling that says rear. As you can see, it comes in two different colors. They are arguing about what this one is called, but let's go with gray for now. This is more my vibe. I like the gray. I'm not a black PC kind of guy, to be honest. I like to be able to see the components, although I'm not getting that with this regardless. On the back here is the graphics card compartment. That's why it's right next to the ventilation. If you were to have the graphics card over here on this solid panel, obviously wouldn't work that well. As the astute among you might have already guessed, there's a big ass fan at the top. 180 mil, oh my God, it's thick. So this is making a, from these sides, yeah, that's the right size, a chimney effect, sucking in air all along here and shooting it out the top. It's officially a 2-slot GPU limit here, but if you look at the back, you can see there's a little extra. It's honestly, actually, it's quite a bit extra. It looks almost like 3 slots, just not with the 3rd slot. They don't recommend putting giant, horrible power efficiency graphics cards like a 4090 in here. But if you got creative, I wouldn't be surprised if you could get one to fit. PCIe riser included here. It's got this funky like angle on it here to fit in there. We've got a 3.5-inch hard drive mount here that also can fit a 2.5-inch SSD. And if you want a second SSD, they ship a bracket in the box that allows you to mount one like right here. Mini ITX motherboard mount. It also supports up to 240 millimeter fans or a 280 mil AIO. That being said, it's kind of a unique form factor, so there are some size constraints. Apparently the majority of 280 mil AIOs will have some sort of clearance issue, whether it's like the radiator dimensions or the clearance between the motherboard, which is right, you know, here. CPU block, probably right about here. Apparently they haven't tried it without fans on the AIO. I mean, they have this big ass fan on the top. I think that that could maybe work, but your mileage will vary. Do some Googling. If you're buying this case right off the bat, maybe stick with the 240 because those should just pretty much work across the board, although they definitely have not tried them all. This is a good button. It's also got 20 gig USB and likely 2 5 gig Type A ports like the other case, and combo audio. To mount an AIO in this one, it's just these 2 screws here to take this bracket off, and then you can mount it separately and plop it in. Or if you don't want an AIO and you like air coolers, like me, it fits up to 110 mil tall cooler, which if you're wondering in Noctua words, it's like an NHD9L, which is probably a pretty good pairing for the amount of hardware that's gonna be in a computer like this. but I know you guys will do horrible, horrible things and make very cool computers. Let's see if this one overheats, but not before telling you about our sponsor.
Thanks to Private Internet Access for sponsoring our 2024 Computex coverage. Their VPN network spans across 6 continents and 91 countries, letting you access your local catalog of content from all over the globe. Plus, with a single subscription, you get unlimited connections, making it easy to run PIA on practically any device. We previously partnered with PIA for years, and they just concluded their second security audit, putting further emphasis on your privacy and security. So go check out PIA using our link in the description for a special deal with a risk-free 30-day money-back guarantee.
Maybe not the world's most intensive game ever, but we're running Valheim max settings. I think we're getting around 180 FPS. This is the same configuration with a 14700K and an RTX 4070. I'm just running around in Valheim, and I have HWinfo open in the background. I'm gonna let that heat soak for a bit, and in the meantime, let's check out the other product, which is definitely not sitting on the desk right here. Their headphones. Called the Scape. Ooh, damn, this is nice. Okay, we've got the stand. We'll talk more about that in a second. I've been told that all of the packaging is biodegradable in one way or another, even the plastic. Got the headphones themselves, little cable here, also in cardboard, and the removable microphone. That's pretty much it for the box. That foam has some memory. I believe they call that memory foam. Hey, there we go, okay. They pop off, that reveals the custom in-house tuned 40mm drivers here. They don't necessarily have plans on making these ear cups purchasable yet, but I guess in theory you could probably contact customer service, and they want to know what the community has to say. If people are asking for it, I'm sure they will do it. Nice adjustability. This is metal, which is nice. It should be pretty durable then, but the top is, of course, plastic for flexibility. In terms of buttons, we have a crown here. This adjusts the volume, as you can probably guess. You can pause, skip track, or skip track back with 3 clicks there. They've got a mode selector on here, which I really like. I hate when products have like a stupid like gesture to switch or like XYZ cheat code to switch. This, just a little switch to go between Bluetooth and the 2.4 gigahertz USB dongle, which I'll show you in a sec. What's the bottom button? What's this one do? Is that oh, that's just a power button. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. You shouldn't need the power button. I've been told that putting it in and out of this very fancy magnetic case. Oh, yeah, look at that. Oh, it just snaps into place. Wow, is what turns it on and off automatically. What other buttons we got here? This is for the audio presets. They have a balanced profile, a treble optimized, and a bass optimized, but you can also do EQ with their app, which I've been told is not an app, it's a web page, which sounds awesome. You don't have to run it in the background on your computer and lose 20% of your FPS or whatever the hell. This is for the LEDs. Oh, there we go. I just had to wait a second. These LEDs can indicate things like the battery level, or if your Bluetooth is connected like you just saw earlier when it was flashing blue. They also have a removable microphone, but not just this microphone, which obviously mutes when it goes up, or can hang out down here, and it's nice and flexible with some memory. They also have a mic integrated in here, so if you're like on the bus and you've taken your Fractal headphones, which to be fair, these are nice looking headphones. They don't look gamery at all. You totally could just wear these out and about. You can still make a call, maybe not as good as if you had your gamer microphone, but definitely probably still functional. Oh, USB-C. In theory, as I'm sure you've imagined, this charges the headphones wirelessly through these little pads here, but you can also charge it with USB-C if you'd like. Does it work with USB-C? Like if it's plugged in, it still functions? Nice, thank God. And that's the stand, like look at that, it just sits like that. So you have this on your desk, it's pretty, your headphones have somewhere to go, and underneath there is that little USB dongle I was talking about earlier. So it integrates nicely into the stand, but if you don't want it there and you want to just plug it back into your computer and you're not using this stand, you can definitely do that. They're rubberized feet. Thank God. Do I look like a gamer? A stylish gamer, at least like in this area. Speaking of gaming, if you're planning on gaming and you're a esports gamer or what have you, the latency on these with the USB dongle is around 27 milliseconds. That's what they've tested. Take that and do with it what you will. I am pleasantly surprised. They sound great, actually, like considering the scope of like gaming headphones, like very good. Good job. I'm actually like genuinely impressed. In terms of battery life, they're looking around 40 hours in optimal circumstances, which means LEDs off, or around 20 to 25 with the LEDs on. They're hoping that that doesn't really matter given that they made this nice stand and you don't have to plug it in, but if you're on the go, it's definitely something to keep in mind, but decent figures. They sound pretty good. They're not cheap, but they're not that expensive either. If you think about premium kind of gaming headphones, there are premium gaming headphones that are very expensive. And this includes the charging stand, does Bluetooth 2.4, has nice memory foam ear cups, it's pretty comfy. I usually prefer a suede material, but I'm sure there'll be aftermarket ones, or maybe they'll make some suede ones later on. They look nice. Seems like a pretty decent buy. Let's check on that computer. All right, it's had about 20 minutes or 10 minutes or whatever to heat soak. For reference, they're running a Fractal Lumen 240mm AIO liquid cooler on the CPU. We're running around 70 degrees on that at 140 watts on the CPU. And our GPU temperature has settled in around 63 to 64 at around a 160 to 180 watt power draw. What is the fan running at? CPU fan, for reference, running at about 1600 RPM, and the GPU fan, the GPU fan is running at 30%. Like it's pretty quiet, and this is, according to hardware info, around 90% of the TDP of the GPU, and we're pulling 30% on the fans. It's pretty quiet, like this is fine. It's totally fine, which is all it needs to be, really. It's quiet. I guess considering the form factor, this is pretty good. It's not the absolute craziest high performance components in this computer, but still a 14700K and a 4070 are no slouch by any stretch of the imagination. So in terms of like the temps working and it being a functional computer, it seems like mission accomplished. But that's not even the last thing they have. Look at this comfy chair. I have Colton here to show you.
Oh, hey Jake, what's up? Dude, it's so cringe. It's so cringe. I'm sitting in one of Fractal's new Refine Ergo gaming chairs. Fractal has 5 different SKUs of this chair. So they've got 2 colorways. They've got a light and dark, both in a mesh and a fabric variant. And then they've also got a 5th SKU. Check this thing out. Alcantara, baby. These chairs are inspired by Scandinavian design. As you can see, they're pretty minimal, which I really like. The branding, the only branding you're gonna get on these chairs is just right here on the headrest itself. We're gonna stick with the Alcantara for the rest of this video, so I'm gonna move these guys out of the way. So you'll notice probably the most gamer thing about this chair is the silhouette, but these things, like many other Fractal products, are built for form and function. There's a lot of things that I really like about this chair. First being that it's got hubless casters. So you'll notice, ooh, nice and smooth. You can't really feel it when you're watching the video, but these things are really smooth. Another thing that I really like about this chair, and something that a lot of chairs get wrong, is they very clearly identified what each handle does on the chair. So you can know that this goes forward, this goes backward, this goes up, this goes down. This is awesome. This saves you from having to fumble below the chair and figure out what each thing does. On this side, we've got what I'm assuming is the tilt lock. Wait, let me undo it. Ooh. Similar to how smooth the casters feel, this chair has a synchro tilt mechanism, which is very, very smooth. We've got about 125 to 130 degrees of reclining ability here. Another thing that's really interesting about this chair is the headrest. So this headrest is memory foam, which is common in a lot of chairs, but what isn't common is the way that it affixes to the chair itself. You've got this little release up here that you can press. You can actually take the headrest off. You're not messing around with magnets. You don't have your headrest fall in. Oh crap, where did it go? There's actually a button that affixes to the chair, which is really cool. Wow, you just gotta hit it. But then when it's actually locked in, you can move it down and up as well without having to take it off. And then the last thing that I really wanna highlight on this chair is the lumbar support system. Pretty straightforward. You've got this knob, again, clearly identifying whether you can get the lumbar support to go in or out. And then you can also go up and down like so. But what about comfort? Obviously, when you're buying a chair, you're making a big investment. You're making an investment into something that you plan on sitting on for years to come. I think this is comfortable. I feel like there probably could be a little bit more padding under my butt, but I feel supported. All of the materials, even on the fabric and the mesh variant, feel really good. And like I said, the things that you're touching, engaging with, the casters, like everything feels premium. at a not so premium price point, which is probably the most interesting thing that I'm finding with this chair. The one that I'm sitting in, the Alcantara, this is like their premium variant. This retails for $899, but both the fabric and mesh variants, which you can get in the light or dark colorways, retail for $549 USD, and they're expecting to launch in Q3 of this year. Another thing that I want to talk about, especially when we're talking about chairs, is warranty. Fractal is offering a 3-year warranty on soft components, and they're offering a 5-year warranty on your structural components, which is pretty competitive with chairs in this price point. Obviously, it's not going to be something like a Herman Miller that gives you a 12-year warranty, but you are paying for that warranty as well. Oh, they just rolled me the instructions. Fractal told me that these are works of art, just like their products. Their instruction manuals are art. And Plouffe, I think, would agree. So we didn't build these chairs, just to let everybody know. You do have to build them yourself, but it's very straightforward, as you can see here from this guide. And that's it for chairs. Thank you very much for watching, everybody. Make sure to like the video if you liked it. Leave a comment below with your thoughts. What do you guys think of these products that we talked about here today? But I always do outros so long. Outros aren't supposed to be long, right?
Bye.
They're supposed to be short. Bye.